All right, let's talk about a skill that really separates the beginners from the pros in project controls. It's called K21 assurance techniques. And to get our heads around it, we're going to follow the story of Jody. She's a level 6 apprentice at a company called Ibis Stores, and she's about to walk right into a challenge that honestly could make or break her entire apprenticeship. Let's dive in. So, picture this. Jody's manager, Riddle, calls her over. She slides a project forecast across the desk, but you can tell from her face, something's off. The numbers just don't feel right. And then she drops that one single word, assure. That's Jody's mission now. You know, this is that exact moment every apprentice kind of dreads, but also secretly hopes for. The moment you have to stop just making the data and start proving it's actually worth something.
So Jody's feeling the pressure. What does she do? She goes to her mentor, Adam, and he tells her, look, don't panic. The answer to Riddle's problem and the key to you acing your apprenticeship is all about mastering K21 assurance techniques. So, what on earth are these techniques and how are they going to help Jody out of this jam?
Well, Adam keeps it simple. He explains that assurance technique sounds fancy, but it's not some kind of complicated magic. They're just clear, repeatable methods. Think of them as the tools you use to double-check your own work, to prove to people like Riddle that your project forecast and your cost estimates aren't just wild guesses. No, they're accurate, they're reliable, and they actually mean something. It's all about building confidence. Adam then breaks Jody's new toolkit down into 2 core techniques. First up, you've got benchmarking. This is when you look outside your company. You compare your project to what the rest of the industry is doing, maybe using official standards or looking at other similar projects out there. Then you've got historical data comparison. This is where you look inside your own company. You dig up data from past projects that are kind of like the one you're working on now. Sound familiar? I bet you've done this before without even putting a name to it.
So why is this such a big deal at a place like Ibis Stores?
Well, because this stuff is the absolute bedrock of good project controls. It's how you validate your numbers. It's how you confirm that your assumptions aren't just wishful thinking. It grounds everything in cold, hard reality. And when you do that, your reports become credible, and the decisions made based on those reports, they get a whole lot smarter.
Now, Adam doesn't just leave her with the theory, right? He gives Jody a practical, step-by-step roadmap. He lays out this really clear 5-step plan for her to totally master K21. This isn't just about learning. This is about developing real, usable knowledge.
And here's the plan. Step 1, just get the basics. Understand what this is and why it matters. Step 2, dive deeper. Really get to know the principles behind benchmarking and using historical data. Step 3, and this is where it gets real, is to actually apply it to real data. Step 4 is about using that data to poke holes in assumptions and spot risks before they become problems. And finally, step 5, make it second nature. Apply these techniques all the time without even being asked. It's a full-on roadmap to becoming a pro. Okay, theory time is over. Now we get to see this plan in action. With Adam's roadmap in her back pocket, Jody is ready. She's going to go tackle her very first real-world assurance task, digging into that store rollout forecast that had Riddle so worried. So Jody just dives right in. Exactly like Adam said, she starts by digging up the historical data from old Ibis store projects. She puts together reports comparing the schedule and the costs. But here's the key. She doesn't just point out the differences. She explains what those differences, those variances, actually mean. She's literally working through that 5-step plan one piece at a time. And all that work, it leads to this, a super simple but incredibly powerful benchmarking table. You can see it right there. She's got past Ibis projects, she's got the industry benchmark, and then there's the new forecast. And boom, it just jumps off the page, doesn't it? The cost is way higher and the schedule looks way too optimistic. The data is definitely starting to tell a story here. And here it is, the smoking gun, a 19% cost increase. Now, a number like that isn't just a small difference. It's a massive flashing red light. It's screaming that there could be a major issue, like scope creep, a totally flawed estimate, or some huge risk nobody's even thought about yet. This isn't a gut feeling anymore. This is a hard fact. And now, Jody has the evidence to go back to Riddle with a real fact-based analysis. So Jody's had a huge win. She's solved a real problem for the business. But, and this is a big but for every apprentice out there, doing the work is only half the battle. Now she's got to prove she did it. This is where her coach Olivia steps in to guide her through that absolutely crucial final stage, turning that amazing practical work into formal evidence for her Aptum portfolio. And Olivia's guidance here is key. She starts with that positive reinforcement, which is so important. But then she gets right down to business.
See, it's not enough to just do the work in an apprenticeship. You have to prove you understand it, that you can apply it. Capturing that evidence in the right way is a skill all on its own. So what actually counts as good evidence? Well, Olivia gives Jody a super clear checklist. That benchmarking report she just made? Perfect. That's Exhibit A. Cost and schedule analysis documents, written reviews of project assumptions, risk logs. It's all fantastic evidence. You can even use things like screenshots of your work and notes from professional discussions with people like Adam and Riedel. This just completely demystifies the whole process. All right, Jody's portfolio is starting to look really strong. So Olivia helps her get ready for the final boss, the endpoint assessment, the EPA. This is the big one, the final exam for her entire apprenticeship, and Olivia's job is to make sure Jody knows exactly what the assessors are going to be looking for.
This is the question, isn't it? It's the one every single apprentice has on their mind. It's not just about what you know in your head. It's about how you show what you know when you're under pressure. How do you really prove to an assessor that you have totally mastered K21 assurance techniques? Olivia lays it all out. Assessors, she says, want to see you doing this stuff without being told. They want to see you pulling together different types of data, your company's history, industry benchmarks, to paint a full picture. Can you explain really clearly why this makes a forecast more reliable? And can you connect the dots and show that you get how having good, clean data is critical for the project to succeed at all? That right there is mastery. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? This is the result of Jody's entire journey. She's not just an apprentice doing tasks anymore. She's a professional with a totally new mindset. She doesn't just create numbers and hope for the best. She stands behind them. She assures them. She's become a true project controls professional. So Jody's story is basically a playbook, a guide from feeling uncertain to being confident. Now it's your turn. I want you to think about your own work, the projects you're on right now. What's the first estimate, the first schedule, or the first forecast that you're going to take from being just a guess to being a number that is truly assured?